stop it. This virtual tasting, and then I will be happy to share it with you. Welcome everybody, good morning. It's a pleasure for me to host the 4th edition of La Grande Bellezza tour. In this time we are connected with 2 different cities. We are with the key wine trade connected in Stockholm, thanks to the help of Marcus, a really well-known and smart sommelier in Stockholm. And then we are connected also with the city of Zurich, with a bunch of different professionals that received small bottles of the wines that we selected. So just a few words on the project. It was born last year. We did our virtual tour already around the world with 6 or 7 different cities. If you want to share any kind of shot, picture, small video, feel free to do it on your social network using the tag Raffaele Wines Critic or the hashtag Wines Critic, or there is also LGB 2022, that means La Grande Bellezza 2022. Once again, thank you very much to everybody. The first winery we are going to show is already here connected, and there is the owner who is Stefano Cincini. The first winery is Piani Rossi, and we will be glad to hear the history direct from you, Stefano, so you can tell us more of what we are going to taste, why did you choose these 2 wines for this presentation, and plus if you can give us also more details about your position. So talking about Montecucco, how you discovered this magical place for you.
Thank you, Raffaele. Good morning to everybody. Great meeting you, even if virtually. I hope we have a chance. We will have a chance to meet in person in the near future. And so my history on about Piani Rossi is has a long time, born a long time ago, because I did the university in Siena, and there I discovered the wine, especially in visiting the Enoteca Italiana at the Fortezza in Siena. And starting from there, I had the dream to one day have my own wine. Of course, during my life, I did different things. I worked for many years in the fashion business, but this dream was always with me. It was in a little part of my mind, a little place in my mind. So finally, I discovered this place in Maremma. We are located at South Montalcino, between South Montalcino and the sea, is the Maremma Grossetana, south of Siena. The place is really really well located, because we are protected by the north wind by the Montalcino Mountains, the east wind by the Monte Miata Mountains, and from the sea by the hills behind Punta Ala, Castiglione della Pescaia, these beautiful places in the Tuscany coast. The adventure started almost 20 years ago, and I went there with let me say a different target than some other wineries. I wanted to create a wine with a strong character, very easy to recognize, and which is expression of the terroir, the local terroir. For this reason, I planted something that at that time was seen by the local people as a little bit strange. I planted the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo in Tuscany, and the other grapes are Sangiovese, Alicante, which is let me say from Spain, but the local people, the farmer in South Maremma, they consider an Italian grape because it's there since many centuries, brought by the Spanish when they came to Italy. And I planted even the Cabernet Sauvignon and the Petit Verdot. Based on these different grapes, we created a different line of products. One, today we are going to test two wines which are part of both lines. The first line is a Super Tuscan. So Super Tuscan is a wine that we can create with more fantasy than and more freedom than the DOC or DOCG. And today you're going to test Piani Rossi, which is our Super Tuscan based on international grapes blended with the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. So basically the Piani Rossi wine is 1/3 Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, 1/3 Cabernet Sauvignon, 1/3 Petit Verdot. Of course, this recipe is not written on the stone, but it will be changed based on the season. You're going to test 2016, which was a very good year, and I hope you're going to appreciate how our interpretation of this year, giving to the wine the great elegance combined with a good structure. We work a lot in the vineyard. We are very we pay a lot of attention on the details, and this wine is after the maceration is aged in tonneau, French tonneau, 500 liters, only new French tonneau, and the tonneau has a middle toasted in order to give the wine to smooth a little bit the wine, to smooth a little bit the structure we can have from this fantastic terroir where we are located. Our area is as a soil which is a mix between iron sands and clay. It depends on the part of the soil. The name of Piani Rossi came from this particular soil we have, because when the hill arrives to the top, the iron part of the soil, it becomes very important. The soil is very red. Going down, the clay and the sands become more important. So, which means that we have a big help in creating a complex and sophisticated wine, because the same grapes is different from the top of the hill to down of the hill. We keep this wine in the French oak tonneau for 18 months, and then we keep in the bottle for almost 2 years in order to give more time to the wine to evolve, to arrive to the level we want. And we have a second line of product, which is based on the local DOC. The local DOC is called the Monte Cucco, and is a little the little DOC that we have there, and is let me say a crew of the Maremma area. We even if the DOC is based on Sangiovese, of course, is Sangiovese 60% and 40% Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, and we have this kind of the Rosso di Monte Cucco as a wine we call let me say a wine that you can drink in every time in the day. It's very easy, but doesn't mean that it's not complex, because I think you can appreciate the even the complexity, the acidity, and the freshness of the fruit of the wine. We suggest to drink it a little bit fresh, a little bit lower than the standard temperature of the red wine. I'm used to drink it around 13 degrees, 14 degrees, which seems sometimes a little bit too cold, but honestly, I can guarantee the wine express itself very well at this temperature. That is very easy even for an aperitivo.
So Stefano, just a question for you. We are
Yeah.
talking of the first wine we are tasting.
Yeah.
We are on Sidus 2017. Just to underline, can you repeat us the blend?
The blend is 60% Sangiovese,
Yes,
40% Montepulciano
Montepulciano.
Abruzzo, 8 to 10 months in Tonneau, the second and third passage.
Okay.
Is 70% second passage, 30% third passage, the Tonneau.
What
And,
can you tell us about the winemaking and
yes, I wanted to share with you these two wines, because you can see how I think you can appreciate how we work in our winery, because we have a very good year 2016 compared with the very tough 2017. The 2017 we had whatever you can have as a worst during the growth of the grapes. We had it because in April we had a very freezing time, and we had to manage the vineyard with this kind of issue. Then we have a great drought, and we didn't have any rain since October, so we had to work so much on the vineyard. We had to protect the grapes from the strong sun, because we had temperature always over 30 degrees Celsius. So it was really a very difficult season. So finally we managed it, to my point of view. Then let's see what you think. We managed it properly, because the wine is really fresh, is easy to drink. And another principle of our winery is producing wine with a strong character, very recognizable, but that the two people that can drink easily one bottle during a dinner or during a lunch, without having the feeling that is very strong, is too alcoholic. So it is very easy to drink.
I think
And Monte Cucco, yes, I want to say something. Monte Cucco is very close to Montalcino. Sometimes I experienced in the past with my colleagues in Monte Cucco a lot of competition with Montalcino, which is not our aim, and in neither our point of view. So we want to express ourselves. The area has a great potential. It's very strong. The climate is very strong. The wine is very structured. What is our aim? Is giving elegance to this muscles wine. We don't want to hide the terroir. We want to enhance it. We want to find a way to round a little bit the strengths and the muscle of coming from the richness of the soil, smoothing a little bit it, giving some elegance, but leaving the wine as it is, based on the soil we have in the season we have. We are a niche winery. We are not big. We have only 14 hectares of vineyard, and we want to create some experience, not only wine, some experience of Maremma with our interpretation. The enologist we have is Julien Biot, a very young enologist from France. There is the right arm of Michel Roland, but he has even a fresh and new point of view on the wine, and he works very much on the vineyard, which is to me the most important thing, because to me the wine, the good fruit in our winery, we can do something really special. But first, the wine born there.
Stefano, moving into the tasting now of Piani Rossi 2016, can you tell us more about, in this particular year, do you remember the blend? Do you remember more or less the aging? What do you expect of these wines in the next 10 years?
This wine is still evolving, to my personal opinion. Is ready to drink, but of course I think it's going to express itself at the best in 3 to 5 years time. What I like of this wine is the elegance combined with the strengths of the terroir. I feel in 2016 the power of the sun combined with the elegance and the spicy notes of the grapes we use for it. This year, if I remember well, we decreased a little bit the Montepulciano. I think Montepulciano is 28% of the total, while the Petit Verdot and the Cabernet Sauvignon has the same percentage. To us, this kind of blend is giving the wine the right balance, the right elegance, but in the meantime, the French Octobre gave the roundness, finesse. In the mouth, I find it very long, very round, and but not in an aggressive way when I arrive in the mouth. You can appreciate at the end the spicy notes, which are, let me say, a little bit the signature of this wine.
Super. Let's see, Stefano, if there are any questions for you. I didn't tell you, but there is the opportunity to raise up the hand on the Zoom platform, because I can see also connected other professional in this virtual tasting. Or Marcus, if you would like to share with us any point, any comments, we will be really happy to hear you on more on this project, to also understand better how you are tasting this wine in the tasting room.
Yes, just give us a few seconds in Stockholm. I'm sure we have questions and comments.
Okay, absolutely. Okay.
While you ask, I would like to add something. In Pianerossi, we have even a small boutique hotel. We have 10 suites. We have a restaurant, which is great even to test the wine, to have with the client what is the reaction from the Pianerossi is always the preferred wine when there is the arrosto, the typical Tuscany roasted meat, or when we serve a wild boar, because the combination between the spicy and balsamic notes with the red pepper notes of the Cabernet is giving to this match maybe a great result. But the surprise was once when we invited a Chinese chef for a special night we did, and emerged that Pianerossi matched very well with the Chinese food in comparison to other wines we served even outside our winery. So let me say that the wine has some characteristics that are giving to it some flexibility, even how to match it on the table. Let me say, with the food.
That's great to know. And I think absolutely for the full body that we are tasting in this 2016, you know, the cab base, it helps a lot with this kind of kitchen or Asian food. Marcos, if you have any question, otherwise we can ask to Stefano to stay a little bit more with us.
We have questions in Stockholm.
No question so far?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi. So I just wanted to ask, well, first of all, I wanted to comment on the Pianerossi, the 16. I think it's really showing very well. It's showing the 16 vintage in a very sort of focused, elegant way. So, and I specifically really like the tannin structure of the wine. But what I wanted to ask was from the perspective of the sort of, in quotes, the super Tuscan style and the inclusion of international varieties. Do you see that as something that you use now mainly for the export markets, or is it still having some success domestically?
So the answer is it sounds could sound a little bit simple, but we are doing very well even in Italy, where the market, of course, you can imagine is very crowded of super Tuscan. But what the client tell us is the wine is really different than the others because of the contribution maybe of the Montepulciano grape, because of the blend which is not so obvious like other super Tuscan that they are based on let me say Sangiovese or Cabernet Sauvignon or Merlot, or like other denomination, other DOC based on the Bordeaux style. I'm really proud to say that many times in the blind testing, our wines, especially the super Tuscans, are emerging easily to recognize because they have a strong character, which doesn't mean that everybody has to love them. It was not our target. We want to express our own character. We are in niche wines. We are small in comparison to other big players. We want to stay as it is. Maximum, we are going to produce 100,000 bottles, 120,000 bottles, not more. But our super Tuscans, today you have the super Tuscan with international grapes with Montepulciano, but we have another super Tuscan with only Italian grapes, which is Sangiovese, Montepulciano, and Alicante, which is the first wine we made there. Our super Tuscan are very unique, recognizable. They are not following the trend, and they're following the seasons, and they're following the terroir we have, because we can work only in this way. High quality, we take care of the details, and we try to improve ourselves step by step, year by year, because it's a long way. We do not consider that we are not satisfied where we are, even if we have a lot of signs of appreciation of our wines. But inside the company, we say every day how we can improve ourselves, how we can do better, even because the climate change is challenging all of us. We track our harvest since the beginning, and if you look of our harvests, there are no one similar to the other. What does it mean? It means that we have to change our culture, how to deal with this climate, how to deal with the cultivation of the vines. We cannot follow the standard protocol. We have to be able to adjust on weekly basis what we have to do the next week, which is very tiring. But at the end of the day, when we open the bottle, we are happy, because what you find inside is the result of this great work we do in our vineyard.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefano. I think was well made this description for the winery, and the wines, you know, they will tell more about the project during this tasting, and of course later also during the small lunch that we prepared for our guest. Thank you very much, Stefano. If you want to stay with us, we have just one producers more to show, who is already connected here. There is Daniele from the winery Fuligni. Fuligni, maybe lots of you already know, represent the tradition in Montalcino area. But there is a lot more, of course. Everything started with Giovanni Maria Fuligni. We are talking about the first year of 20th century, so in 19. What say more? This kind of history went through also with the figure of really important Maria Fuligni, and today is well led also by Roberto. Daniele, if you can tell us more about the winery, your philosophy, and the wines we are going to taste.
Okay. Ciao Raffaele, hello everyone, and thank you. So I'm Daniele Zeffirini, the cellar master of Fuligni and the winemaker from 2010. And I'm very lucky because it was a very good vintage. I know the family from a long time. The Fuligni family is an historical family in Montalcino, but originally from Venice. Is a noble family. And I will try very briefly to explain the history, the long history of Fuligni family, and our philosophy of wine. So the first Fuligni in Montalcino was Maria Giovanni Fuligni, agronomist, orchards breeder, expert of vines. He moved to Montalcino from the Maremma area. The Maremma area is the zone near the coast of the Tuscany in 1921, and so just arriving in Montalcino, immediately saw the potential of the terroir, and specifically the north area of the hill, the zone where the Brunello was actually born, and one of the most suitable production zone of the elegant wine. And bought 3 farmhouses in 2 different areas. The same north zone, one in Cottimelli area, where we have 7 hectares in this time. The typical north area of production, the typical soil of production of the north. In Cottimelli, they are our oldest vineyard. Oldest, it's been 30, 35 year old or older. Very important for us because we use the oldest vineyard for the production of Reserva. Reserva is our best wine. Today, we taste the 16 Reserva, very important wine for us. And the old vines are perfect for the production of Reserva because the yield is very low, and the quality of the grapes every year is incredible. Big quantity of anthocyanins, polyphenols, and incredible quality of tannins. When we make the Reserva, we use always the old vines from Cottimelli, specifically two vineyards, Vineyard San Giovanni and the Vigna del Piano. The altitude is 482 meters above sea level, which is a good altitude, and the exposition of the vineyard is northeast. The exposition of the vineyard is in this time is very important. The soil in a Cottimelli area is the typical soil of the north, very important soil of the north, the limestone. The limestone is a soil, is a poor soil, is not rich soil. Give the wine minerality, give the wine complexity, give the wine aging potential, give the wine freshness. It's very important for make a wine with long life. And Maria Giovanni Foligni understood in the past very well the potential of the soil, the potential of this position of the vineyard. Maria Flora, the daughter of Maria Giovanni Foligni, continues the tradition of the father. In this time is the oldest producer in Montalcino, 75 harvests in her life. And she is a real expert of vines. She knows very well every meter of the estate. And when I finish a new blending of wine, is the first person that tasted the wine. No pressure for me, no pressure. It's absolutely no. For Foligni is a very important the tradition. We don't like to change nothing. We have the same consultor, 3 generations of the same consultor, the same family, the family Bagaggini. The father of Paolo was our enologist in the past. Paolo is the actual enologist, and in the future, Jacopo will be our enologist. Paolo is one of the most important enologists of Sangiovese in the world, in my opinion. So the other area of production is the Semiti. Different altitude, the same in north area. The altitude in Semiti is 371 meters above sea level. It's a small hill on the top, one of the most beautiful houses in Montalcino, Villa San Giovanni a Semiti. Date back 1700. It was a house from Leopoldo di Toscana, a member of Medici's family. Around the house, another 7 hectares of the state. In total, the state is 100 hectares, but only 14 hectares dedicates of the production of the Sangiovese. 7 in Cottimelli and 7 in Semiti. In Semiti, the soil is totally different because it's a clay. Clay from the north area of Montalcino, different compared of the clay from the south of Montalcino. The clay from the north give the wine power, give the wine structure, yes, but also elegance. Our Brunello regular, it's a blend of 2 different types of soil. Very important in this moment to have a different soil, a different type of soil, because the weather is very crazy and the climate change, and it's very important to have a different age of the vineyard, a different soil. The Reserva is made from our oldest vineyard, San Giovanni and the Piano, and we make the Reserva only in the best year. when the harvest is amazing, it's normal. In this time, we have the 16 Reserva, and the new Reserva will be the 19. So we didn't make a Reserva in the 17 and the 18, two very good vintage for me, two very good vintage, but not perfect for to become Reserva, because for to become Reserva, we need a specific characteristic on the grapes, big quantity of polyphenols, incredible extract, and high acidity and super quality of tannins. Today I present to you the Brunello 2017 and the Reserva 2016, two very different vintage, to very different weather condition, to the same Foligny style, but different expression of the same grapes. The Brunello 17, the 17 harvest, the 17 vintage was different compared to the 15, compared to the 16, because the weather condition was not totally regular. Was a warm summer, didn't rain for 2 months. The maturation, the ripening of the grapes was very fast. But in my opinion, is a good vintage. Is a good vintage specifically in the north area of the hill. So we are lucky. We are lucky because now, with the problem of the climate, or the climate change, the north area is the zone more lucky, yeah, for the production of the wine, because the altitude, the temperature is better. Also in the summer, very hot, and we have a perfect day-night range temperature. In the night, also in the summer, very hot, the temperature go down, and not very often we have a real stress, hydric stress on the vines. And in 2017, we didn't change nothing. We didn't change our management approach on the vineyard. We did only a substantial canopy, more leaves to protect the grapes from the sun, but no more. And the 2017 is a wine so different compared to the 16. Is a wine very fresh, in my opinion, very dynamic, very elegant. We don't have overripe on the nose. Absolutely no.
Absolutely, Daniele.
Red,
I will jump in your conversation just because otherwise we'll be really too late.
Yeah.
Drinking and tasting.
Do you think?
Yes, because at the beginning was a little bit close in my glasses, but just I needed to warm it up a little bit, kind of maybe 2 degrees. It completely opened and changed. And I love how much is concentrated without to be heavy, how much is spicy without to be boring. I mean, it's a classic wine where everything is in the right place. You can feel it, there is ripeness without avoiding absolutely all the green that you can have from the hard and difficult vintage. And it's impressive how you really want to keep go again back on the glass and to feel and understand more, because you can have from the beginning the perception what is a great wine and really deep and complex, but it's with the time that you absolutely understand more and more on the glasses. So just an enjoyable moment from the beginning, an enjoyable wine with lots of drinkability, but you can feel it that you will find a good surprise, even if you want to live 3, 4, 5 years and even more in your cellar.
Yeah.
This, you know, like you were saying, absolutely the north side of Montalcino, the northeast side, actually, we tasted also yesterday many wines coming from that area, is going to have a really long and beautiful street ahead, because the wine are really deep and complex. The grapes are ripening in the best condition, even if we are really going through hard seasons and lots of crazy weather. like you were saying. So absolutely an impressive expression that you just, repeat it again. I need to send you back
yeah.
a report on 2018, which actually in another different way, it was a challenging vintage for you producers, for the winemaker, for all the
Opposite vintage.
completely opposite, but I
Yeah.
think the same average, you brought it out to completely expression of Montalcino. What is important is to follow maybe the wind, and you follow in the best way. So if the direction bring you to make some choice in the vineyards, you know how to get it to make the best wines later. The same was absolutely for 2018, because it was one of the rarest wines we tasted. And moving into the Riserva 2016, but will be also nice to tell everybody, it was for us maybe the best expression, together with one or two different labels in all Montalcino, on a top of 100 wines, more or less, tasted. And what we like is, again, just balance. We can talk of harmony. There was no the idea to do too much, because a lots of great 2016, according to me, was a little bit too overdone or overworked, if we can say like this. In this case, you didn't bring too much of yourself in the vintage, even if you knew that was a really beautiful vintage, with all the technical sheet in the right position, with all the value of technician talking, so sugar, alcohol, acidity, pH, and everything. You just were there to how can we say, just to bring this wine during his aging and watching it, and not too much work on it.
So it's true that the 16 is amazing. It's amazing vintage, super elegant, super fresh, incredible quality of tannins. It's a wine, it's true, real balance in this time, but with very good aging potential. It's not typical, because sometimes when the Reserva born, the tannins, is a little hard, is not easy, sometimes is nervous. In 2016, the tannins is a totally silky tannins, perfect tannins, and but with incredible acidity and a very good pH, yes. And it's a wine perfect now, with very drinkable, but it's a wine for the future. It's true, it's a wine for the future. It's a wine for keep in the cellar and drink in 10, 20, 25, 30 years. Because when a wine is very balanced, when a wine is very complete, the aging potential is incredible. And the 16 is a wine complete, but very balanced. All the elements, in this wine are in the posto giusto, in the come possiamo dirlo, Raffaele?
Right place.
Yeah, in the yes.
So giusto, I hope they can understand too.
Yeah.
I agree. Absolutely, Daniele. Okay, let's see if there are any questions for you. I will be really glad again to listen and to hear something from the tasting room in Stockholm. But in meantime, Marcus, I can try also to make a question. There is Matteo Cipollone connected with us. Matteo, welcome, and thank you very much for being with us. Where are
Thank
you
for having me.
Well, did you know already the project, the two wineries that we are presenting? How did you feel and taste the wines?
Foligny, absolutely. I mean, it's a remarkable name in the wine industry, and mainly in the Montalcino area. So there's no way that you can miss such a name. I mean, I work in two different markets. I work, both of them are e-commerce in Spain and in Italy. So definitely for in the Italian market is such a well-known name, Foligni. Piani Rossi, I'm glad that I just managed to try the wines and actually discover, because every time I go to Vinitaly, it's just such a limited amount of time for so many wineries. So I'm really glad there is something like this that allows me to taste these wonderful wines. I have to say, if I'm trying to increase the name of the Italian wines in Spain is not something easy, I have to say, as a big production, but products like these are definitely very appealing to the customer base in Spain. In Italy, I mean, something that Stefano said that was really interesting about that you would think the varieties like international varieties wouldn't work so much in the internal market. Actually, I see a huge amount of Super Tuscan and all these blends with Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Petit Verdot as well, working really, really well in the country. And that's something as well I'm trying to bring into Spain. Slowly, we're getting there.
Okay, that's great, Matteo. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for being with us. If you have any question more, or just, you can type us in chat, or we can stay in touch. Absolutely. If you would like to taste something more, even from a big bottle, I will be happy to connect you with our professional and our producers. Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Thank you very much.
Marcus, do you have one question for us? And
No
then
questions,
move on.
actually, but there's a lot of smiles, there's a lot of happy people, and there's a lot of good compliments about the wine. So that itself is a good statement, I think.
Okay, how did you feel this
Thank you.
tasting? I mean, in Montalcino, talking about the two producers, did you have already the opportunity to taste the Piani Rossi before? Do you know the winery? Also the same question for Foligni.
No, I think the first two wines were new to the audience here in Sweden. The second two wines, some have tried before, and as Matteo said, it's well-known names here, but it's a good opportunity to taste, because it's not that often that we have the opportunity. So we're very grateful for that. So thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. So
Actually,
Marcus,
there is one final question here.
yes,
Hold on.
please.
Can you hear me if I sit here?
Yes,
Okay.
maybe a little bit louder, but we can hear you.
I'll speak up. For the Foligni wines, I've known them and I've worked with them for quite a few years in Stockholm in the restaurant scene. And I would say my comment is that they've always been very consistent in style. So it's always been a very elegant, refined style. And so my question for Daniele would be, with increased warmth, with the climate change, do you feel like you have to do a lot of things in the vineyard and the winery to maintain that sense of elegance and that sense of terroir?
Okay, Daniele, did you hear the question? Yes.
Yes, it's important question because the climate change and is no possible change that situation. For Foligni, in this moment, the problem is important, but we are in the north area, and in the north area, the climate is good in this time. It's not a real big problem. We don't have a real stress in the vines. I think that the experience of the family, but the experience of all producers in Montalcino will be able to face the new challenge. The new challenge. Sometimes in the future, because it's not easy, make a prediction of the future, will be necessary change. Sometimes our approach of management in vineyard, or change our the time of the harvest earlier compared to the past. But in this moment, I'm an optimist, because we continue to produce a good wine with good acidity, with the same style. In the future, I don't know. I hope we continue for a long time. It's true. Is a real problem, the global warming, but so I'm positive and positive man.
Thank you very much, Daniele. To be honest, and just we are going to close, I'm feeling, you know, that somewhere is going to be a good opportunity, this kind of climate change. Even if you think about, I don't know, a Ianico in Avellino with Taurasi, it's they were harvesting in the end of October. So to try to arrive 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before is not really a big problem. Same is going to be for the different kind of wines that we will taste in the next years. So we are changing our culture. We are changing the way of to go out, to having a lunch, to having a dinner. We are tasting a lots of different kitchen. So maybe I would like to see the half full glass on this opportunity, even if something that we need to be really worry about, because it's keep changing and it's absolutely dangerous.
Yeah.
Daniele, thank you very much, and thank you very
Thank you,
much,
Raffaele, and
everybody.
enjoy wine.
Thank you. We will absolutely, also during the lunch. See you soon in Montalcino. Thank you, Stefano.
Thank you to everybody. Enjoy the lunch. Enjoy the wines.
And thank you very much.
Raffaele, è possibile
sì.
sapere l'importatore in Svizzera per Fuligni?
Sì, Daniele ci puoi aiutare? O già
Allora
no?
sì, ve lo scrivo perché devo sentire Daniela, ma scrivo l'importatore.
Dovrebbe essere Terravigna, ma non ne sono sicuro perché...
Dovrebbe essere Terravigna, sì, è Terravigna, però devo controllare se c'è stato qualche cambiamento e sentirò la mia collega che è diciamo, l'amministratore delegato, e quindi per essere più certo di darle un'informazione corretta.
Avete la possibilità di fornire delle verticali?
È possibile, sì. È possibile, non abbiamo molto, non abbiamo una grande disponibilità, però è possibile farlo, sì. È possibile.
Perfetto. O se no vengo in azienda, le prendo su e le porto su in Svizzera.
Ah, certo, quello è anche più semplice, tra virgolette.
Grazie ancora.
Mi metto in contatto, con piacere. Non l'ho introdotta perché avevo il nome basso di Jennifer e avrei fatto una brutta figura.
No, io sono il marito di Jennifer. Jennifer è la seconda sommelier del CD Hotel di Andermatt e io sono il sommelier del ristorante giapponese con la stella Michelin.
Un vero piacere.
Su in quota 2340 metri.
Piacere.
Abbiamo una piccola carta di sake con circa 260 sake e 1500 etichette in carta.
Wow.
Dell'albergo.
Wow.
Fantastico.
E adesso insieme a Let's Sommelier stiamo mettendo circa 259 posizioni e siamo alla ricerca dell'eleganza che in entrambi i vini, Piani Rossi e il Brunello, sicuramente sono eccezionali. Infatti siamo alla ricerca di no names, scusate se dico no names, ma in Svizzera non siete così conosciuti e io sono sempre alla ricerca come detto, di piccoli produttori che riusciamo a vendere molto meglio. Il nostro mestiere di sommelier sicuramente è ancora più incentivato.
Ma guardi, è quello che vogliamo. Scusa se ti parlo solo, Raffaele. No. È lo spirito della nostra azienda, di Piani Rossi, quello di essere un'azienda di nicchia e quindi essere particolare. Poi magari la vengo a trovare perché mi sono trasferito a Zurich e quindi non sono lontano dalle sue parti. Mi dicono che con un'oretta e mezza si arriva a Andermatt da qui.
Ah, sicuramente. Andermatt è comodo, dopo con i 300 km di piste, come ha detto, si riesce a sciare bene, aspettando... Sì. Dopo non ci sono, sullo sci passa non ci saranno grandi botte, però alla fine, in generale, arriva da Zurigo e viene su a 2340 metri, oppure si passa una bella notte al Cedi.
Sì, infatti con mia moglie vedremo sciare lì, perché insomma a Zug non è che c'è molto da fare.
Io vi metto in contatto, signori. Vi metto in contatto così vi saluto.
Sì, mettici in contatto perché
assolutamente con enorme
indipendentemente
piacere.
dai vini sarà molto interessante, perché poi ho viaggiato molto in Giappone e amo il sake, quindi vengo a trovarlo sicuramente.
Con piacere.
Bene, grazie.
Allora io vengo a trovare lei, lei venga a trovare me.
Facciamo
uno scambio.
Questo con piacere.
Allora,
Tanto
grazie
perfetto.
ancora.
Grazie ancora.
Io vi saluto perché we are going
Ciao,
to
Fede.
switch again in English. We have another small tasting. Keep going in the Zurich, I'm sorry, in Stockholm tasting room. But I mean, you can be free to stay if you want, or just go ahead in your schedule. Once, thank you very much to have participate to La Grande Bellezza with these two
Thank
wineries,
you.
Piani Rossi and then Fuligni.